Back here in Eldon, Clarke with the 1-love advantage here in the match as we head to set number 2. But before we do, why don't we show you this here on Go SEC TV. There's the happy family. Kimberly Adams, the second-year head coach of the Clarke Indians, along with her husband Walker Adams and their newly born baby daughter, Rory May Adams. Family's doing great. Rory May is doing great. That is wonderful to hear, and I'm sure they are all smiles back in Osceola tonight after that first set with Clarke going on to win by 10, 25-15. That's awesome. We were so glad to be able to get in touch with Coach Adams ahead of tonight's match and get a picture of the family together. Wonderful to hear that all is well with the Adams family. Well, whatever the holdup was has been resolved. Brenna Geider checked out. Brinley Ostrander, the libero, in. And we're underway with the Comets. Striking first, Cynthia Albert, who had that strong start in set number 1, gets the first point of the set for either side. Good set as well, speaking of which, by number 12 there, Megan Ward. Ellery Van Trump coming in to replace Kaylin Chapin to serve. I'm Dewayne Cook, A.J. Anderson, our director. We've got Parker Shepard, a student here at Cardinal High School, on our main camera as well, bringing you all the live action from Eldon, the South Central Conference opener for both of these schools, Cardinal and Clarke. Henry's going to set it up middle for Josie Dunbar. Ostrander, good dig and a good pass to Ward. Now Becker, roll shot off the block of Dunbar, back over to Albert, who was ready for it. Van Trump with a back row attack, handled there by McCoy. Near side, that's Hagan, handled again by Van Trump. Ward for Becker, running up to it, punches over a roll shot to Henry. Henry, now Bridget Henry, that is, over to Hagan, handled by Ward. Middle, Albert, back to McCoy. Nice little battle here between these two in the rally. Clarke will send it long on that attack. The 5th kill error by the Indians. Cardinal keeps it on their side. In goes the lefty, number 11, Emily Ward, with Emery Finch to the sideline. Serving is Van Trump, with the Comets getting the first couple of points on the board. Dug by Tori Henry. Allie Henry sets it up for Dunbar, and Van Trump can't quite get to that one. She had a couple of good digs here to open this second set, but Dunbar wins that battle. Melody Stanley X-Line watching with us as Go Comets. We've heard a couple of Go Comets too. We're certainly glad to see our folks here in Eldon are supporting the newcomer to the South Central Conference. We'd also love to hear from any Indian fans out there too. Your support for Clarke Community Schools volleyball. See number 13, Molly Sickles for the first time, a 5'2" senior into serve, and it goes long. Clarke with their 6th service error of the match. Gives it right back to Cardinal. I'm going to almost assume that number 19 for Cardinal, who again I don't have on my roster, is perhaps Madison Dively, who was number 9 that I had. So perhaps she just added a 1 in front of it. I'm not 100% positive of that. Dunbar over the block, but there's Van Trump to back it up. That's a good adjustment right there by the Cardinal defense that we didn't see in set number 1. Bridget Henry, again over the block, but there's Van Trump. Becker gets the set. Left-handed tip to the donut is dug out by Henry. Now Dunbar's roll shot off the arm of Ward, and it comes down before Van Trump can get there. Both Ward and Ostrander reached for that roll shot from Dunbar, and that took away an opportunity to keep it alive on 2. 3-2, Comets lead. Dunbar to serve. And she sends it into the net. Josie's had a few of those tonight. Hard to keep momentum on your side when you can't keep serve. Back goes Cynthia Albert. Dug by Dunbar. Henry looking for Tori Henry. Allie Henry to Tori Henry. Dug by Becker. Middle for Geider, who's checked back in. There's a good one from the middle from Brenna Geider, who sent it right into the face of the junior setter, Allie Henry. 2nd kill for the sophomore. Comets have made some good adjustments here in the second set. I mentioned defensively with Van Trump being behind the block. Here, she tries to back it up from the back row, but it does get down with Tori Henry picking up her 3rd kill of the night. Again, unofficially, all stats unofficial that we tell you. Just trying to keep up with them here on the side. Bridget Henry takes a seat with the libero Jasmine Walrad in to serve. Short serve, Becker up to it. Ward for Ostrander. The libero got just enough on it to get it over the head of Maddie McCoy, and the defense was on their heels. Don't often hear about a kill for a libero, but that's exactly what Ostrander got right there. As a sophomore last year, did not record a kill. Now Becker. Line drive serve, Dunbar. Good pass back up front to Allie Henry. Tori Henry is long. 7-3 Comets, keeping a little bit of arm's length distance here to open up this second set against Clarke. Trailing 1-love. For those of you that missed the first set, it went in favor of Clarke, 25-15. Henry with a free return over to Becker. Now Ward looking outside. Chapin hit it into the net. First kill error of the set, 9th of the match now for Cardinal. Gives the side out to the Clarke Indians with a rotation coming. In goes Ava Hagen once more, replacing Sickles on the front line. And serving will be Tori Henry. Oh, thank you. Nikki Drish is filling me in here. Number 19 is Macy Grove. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'll make that note in my book here so we can properly identify Macy Grove, who's checking out right now, as a matter of fact, with number 12, Megan Ward, back into the match. Also, during that time, another service error by Clarke. The serve from Ward, dug by Dunbar. Henry in the middle for McCoy is wide. Clarke Activities Director Randy Bolton chiming in with a Go Indians. Glad to have Mr. Bolton there along with us, watching from Osceola tonight. Ward serve, dug by Dunbar. 5-point lead for Cardinal. Back row set this time for Tori Henry. Good one, but dug out by Becker. Ward to the middle for Geider. Dunbar dives, kept alive, and Josie with a free return. Whistled. They actually call 2 touches on Dunbar. So now those hitting errors for Clarke starting to rear their ugly head, just as they did for the Comets in set number 1. They're up now to 8. Ward serve. Dunbar cuts off her libero Walrad. Henry for number 8, Ava Hagen. That will get out of play. That's the first kill for Ava Hagen. She's been oddly quiet. A young lady who last year, again, was second on the team for the season with 108 kills. The most returning. Her first of the night right there. Trailing by 5. They need more of that from her. The serve from McCoy, dug by Ostrander. Here's Chapin. Diving down to save it, Tori Henry. Now Hagen got another one. Don't let her get hot. Back-to-back kills for number 8 in maroon. Clarke back to within 4, and Maddie McCoy continuing to serve. 9 ace serves a year ago. Good concentration by Ostrander to play that off the tape. Geider, yes, on the crosser, hitting it off McCoy. And a nice celebration between she and Megan Ward, who set her up on that one. She checks out, Brenna does, with Cynthia Albert back in on the front line for Cardinal, and Ostrander serving. Long serve, dug by Tori Henry. Allie Henry for Dunbar. Just missed the back line. It was close. But the 9th kill error for Clarke. Carolyn White chiming in for the Clarke Indians with a Go Indians, enjoying the live. You bet. We're happy to be here on the SEC Network. Just one of many to come here this fall for some SEC volleyball. We're in for some fun Tuesday and Thursday nights, that's for sure. For the most part, there's some other nights sprinkled in there as well. Clarke unable to return another one from the Comets. Cardinal with a 7-point lead, and they have 2 timeouts to work with, but right now, Joni Redout, the interim head coach, is hanging on to him in her back pocket. Tori Henry, a back row attack, dug by Ostrander. Ward tips it back on over to Walrad. Middle for Dunbar, joust, won by Josie. Her and Cynthia Albert, that's a clash of titans above the tape. Number 11 in maroon wins that battle. For another kill, I've got her down with 9. Walrad checks out. Back to serve Allie Henry with Bridget Henry returning. Remember, it was Allie Henry who was behind the service line when Clarke went on their big, I believe it was a 9-love run to open up a big lead there in set number 1 and on to a 10-point win. Dunbar gets a set in the middle, through the block and down. That's double digits now for Josie Dunbar. Roger Fischels with a go, Clarke Indians. They got to go, trailing by 5 here towards the halfway point of set number 2. Ward, middle for Emery Finch, blocked by Dunbar, and she sends it right on back over to the Comets. Becker kept it alive. Now Emma with a free return, short. Dunbar, good pass over to Henry. Back to the middle, dumped off by Hagan, kept alive by Ward, punched up by Chapin. Becker back to Dunbar. Henry, back corner, good reach by Becker. Chapin to Ward, free return by the Comets. Now McCoy to Henry. Outside for Bridget. Henry, Ostrander dives to save it. Ward to McCoy. Rally continues. Here's Hagan. Was it blocked back? They're going to say yes. Albert got a piece of it. Joust. Albert wins it this time against Bridget Henry. Strong point there for the Cardinal middle, Cynthia Albert. Well, we might have a timeout, but no. Still hanging on to it. Coach Readout, I beg your pardon. Chapin out. In goes Van Trump to serve once more for Cardinal. 14-8 Comets. Dunbar over to Henry. Coming back to the middle for Josie. Off the block there to back it up is Ward. Finch. Ostrander. Roll shot. McCoy. Way to move your feet. Hagan. Got it past Ostrander, and it caught the back line. Ava Hagan's got 3 kills here in the set. Allie Henry, too, continues to collect up assists. I've got 13 of them now for number 7. Katie Enos along with us, too, with a go Indians. Now we're starting to hear from the Clarke faithful, wondering, well, I know a lot of the Cardinal faithful are here in the gym. We see them on the far side. There's one of those service errors for the Indians. They're 9th, and that will give a side out to Cardinal. Also, I must say, they're behind us here from our camera view, but there's some folks that made the trip over from Osceola to join us tonight as well here in Eldon for the conference opener. And that's some commitment right there. That's a hike. Maybe they got over here with a Craig Ford automobile. What do you think? They are the official automobile dealer of the South Central Conference Network, after the Iowa Media Network, I should say. Henry for Torrey. Henry handled by the Cardinal defense. Got an overpass, but Torrey sent it long. Cardinal adds to the lead up to 7. Both teams have kind of separated themselves towards the middle portions of our sets. Clarke was able to use that to go on to a 10-point, 25-15 win in set 1. Can Cardinal do the same here in set 2? Dunbar to Ward. Up front, Grove sets it for Becker. Blocked back again by Dunbar, who continues to be a menace on that front line. And Albert found the back corner right in front of us. No doubt about it, Cynthia Albert had the magic touch on that point. Lead up to 8 at 17-9. Lefty Emily Ward. Oh, good pancake in the middle by McCoy. And they called 2, I believe, on Allie Henry in the middle, trying to get that back over the net. They sure did. And now Joni Readout will use that first time out of the frame. Comets have built a 9-point lead, just as Clarke did to them in the first set. They have doubled up their opponents from Osceola. See if the Comets can close it out and even us up at a set apiece. 18-9, Cardinal looking for the bounce back here in the second set, and really for the Comets it has boiled down to defensively, I think, more than anything here in this second, not to mention the continued good play from Cynthia Albert. Brenna Geiter's also flashed a little bit here and there during this second set after a relatively quiet start in the opening frame. But you expect that for a team that's making their season debut, right? That first set, you can practice as much as you want. You can scrimmage. This team did down in Bloomfield a couple weeks ago, but there's just something different about having the gym full and somebody in a different color jersey over on the other side of the net. Back to action. Becker punches one over with the left hand. Dunbar kept it alive. Henry to Dunbar, and Josie didn't get enough on it that time. Kill errors have really, again, started to add up here for the Clarke Indians. They've got 13 of them now. Ruby Clyde with a go Indians. Clarke showing up now in our comment section. Where are our Comet fans out there? I mentioned they're probably all in the gym. Tori Henry, that's a finesse shot. Saw the block right in front of her and went down to the near corner with a mini crosser from the middle. Heady play by the junior Tori Henry, who's got 4 kills. Side out, a much needed one for the Clarke Indians. Trailing by 9. Brian Stuvo, it looks like actually Belinda via Brian Stuvo with a Let's Go Indians. Grove, left-hander, dug by McCoy. Now here comes Tori Henry, goes with a big swing but missed the back line. Leanne Mary Helgevold watching along with us with a Let's Go Clarke. Cynthia Albert to serve with a 10-point advantage. Dug by Dunbar. Set up back row for Ava Hagen. Overhead dig by Albert. Ward for Becker. Over the block, there's Henry once more. Dunbar sets it up for Tori Henry. Goes finesse again. Becker's there to, actually that was Ward who backed it up. Geider got it in the donut. Dunbar dove to save it, but it falls to the hardwood nonetheless. Brenna Geider had another kill to her stat line. I've got her down with 4. Shauna Henry with the Let's Go Lady Indians. Serve, a good hard one. Dunbar digs it out though. Bridget Henry, overhead dig by Ward. Geider, free return, put some English on it. Has to pinball around, punched over by Hagen to keep it alive. Ward, Geider in the middle. It's going to be long. A little too much air under it that time from Brenna Geider. Didn't come down quite late enough, a bit early. Bridget Henry checks out. Walrad, the libero, to serve for Clarke. Dug by Becker. Ward went ahead and sent it on over to Dunbar. Henry, near side for Tori Henry through the block. Becker punched it into the net. Ostrander and Van Trump run into one another, and they cannot return it. By the way, Cardinal fans, we talked about it coming out of that first set where the Comets really had to clean up their kill errors. I've got them down with just 3 here in the set after 8 in the first. Ostrander and Ward run into each other. Grove got it back over, but it misses. And that's a communication. That's exactly what Candace Geider is saying over on the sideline. Talk after that point. She yelled talk multiple times. I could see it all the way from over here on the other side of the gym with Ostrander and Ward running into one another. You got to communicate. I know it's a loud gym, but you got to scream that out. Ward for Grove. The lefty goes long. Well, maybe the old broadcaster's jinx there, Comet fans. I mentioned the kill errors, keeping them down here in the set, and Candace Geider, realizing it herself, is going to go ahead and burn her first time out of the frame. Still, her squad in front by 7, 21-14, as we close in on the end of set number 2.
To feed someone is to care for them, to ensure that what's on their plate sustains them and creates a sustainable future for us all. It's serving them as part of a larger community, feeding their need to grow and answering every hunger with opportunity. Feeding people is a responsibility, a purpose, and there's so much more to it than food. JBS, bringing more to the table.
Shauna Henry, Let's Go Lady Indians. Ricky Stokes, Let's Go Clarke. Loud and proud over in Osceola. I know it is a long drive to try to make tonight. For those of you that couldn't be here, we are glad to be able to provide the live broadcast for you. Brenna Geider gets blocked up front by both Allie Henry and Maddie McCoy, and the point will go to the Indians out of the timeout from Candace Geider. Good defense that time. And Walrad will get ready to serve again. This was at one point a 9-point advantage for Cardinal. It has bled down to 6. But one of those service errors, the 10th in my book for the Indians, is going to give it back to the Comets, needing just 3 points to tie us up. I beg your pardon. Van Trump takes a seat. Chapin back into the match on the front line. Serving will be Emma Becker for Cardinal. Hard, low serve. Walrat under it. Dump off by Henry, but right there ready for it was Ward. Geider roll shot, dug by Walrad. Henry for Tori Henry, blocked back by Geider, but the defense there for Clarke. Now Henry's free return over to Ostrander. Ward in system to Geider. Missed. Dunbar pulled the shoulder back, and Brenna Geider just a touch too long that time. Side out Clarke. Putting Tori Henry behind the service line. Dewayne Cook here on the South Central Conference Network. A.J. Anderson running the ship for us as our director. And Carson Shepard, student here at Cardinal High School, is operating our main camera tonight. Tori Henry gets her first ace serve, unable to handle at that time the Cardinal defense on the back line. Macy Grove going to take a seat as we see Megan Ward rotate back in. That gets two setters on the court for the Comets, both she and her sister Emily Ward. Megan will take it here, looking for Geider in the middle to the donut. Dunbar dives to save it. Henry for McCoy, long to the outside. Haven't been able to place it. Clarke has tried with a couple of different Indians from that middle going to the right. And on the handful of occasions that they have, they've just sent it beyond that black stripe of our boundary. Emily Ward came out. Megan Ward serves with Emery Finch back into the match. Good heady play by Emma Becker to keep that one alive. Henry for Hagan through the block of Finch that time. Cardinal handles it, and Geider mistimed her jump in the middle. A touch early on the high set from Ward. Clarke's hanging around. They're within 5. That's within striking distance, but not a lot of room to maneuver here with Cardinal 2 points away from a set win. Ward, middle for Chapin. Blocked and down. It came down on the Clarke side. Ava Hagan got a piece of it, but Chapin wins the battle. And now set point for the Comets. 6 to work with, 24-18. Ostrander to serve. Dug by McCoy. Allie Henry looking for Dunbar. Dug behind by Ward. Finch back to the middle. Albert to the middle. Handled by Clarke. That was Hagan. Dunbar joust won by Finch at the net. Clarke keeps it alive. Hagan over the top of the block. Ward backs it up. Finch for Chapin off the block. Pumped up there by Henry. Dunbar off of Becker. Finch to the middle. Oh, both Albert and Ward in the area, but they get it over. Quick set. Dunbar. Oh, what a dig by Becker. Finch dumps it off, but Clarke was there. Quick dump by Henry. There again, Becker. Chapin into the net. Clarke lasts for set point number 1. Man, what a dig by Emma Becker, though. That was a beautiful set between Henry and Dunbar. They've clearly worked on the timing of that, but Becker was right there. Showed you why she led this team last year with 264 digs. Henry served, dug by Becker. Ward for Albert, the lefty over the tape, and it came down. A friendly home roll. Cynthia Albert clinches the second set for Cardinal, and we've got a brand new match in Eldon. Clarke took the first 25-15. The Comets soar back 25-19 in the second. It's shaping up to be a good one here on Go SEC TV.